Welcome to Great GREYS, your one-stop shop to finding winners from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Australia's premier greyhound form students, including Harry Buchanan from the Greyhound Insider, Joe Lanuti from Greyhounds HQ, Neil Brown previewing the Sandown action, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, and Simon Orchard with the latest in New South Wales chasing.
Good morning and welcome along to Great GREYS on this Thursday, the 5th of October 2023. David Shortte with you, looking forward to another very busy program. There's a stack going on around this great nation over the next couple of days when it comes to greyhound racing. Friday night is going to be absolutely scintillating. We've of course got the Group 1 Adelaide Cup final to look forward to across there at Angle Park. Wonderful field assembled. Scalacci, the $3.10 favourite. Of course, this is the greyhound that won the golden ticket going back a couple of weeks ago when the match races were on. It's had the feet up on the dashboard last week while the remainder of its rivals for Friday night had to battle it out last week. Of course, the former West Aussie in Big Energy was most impressive there last week, dropping a 30.03. Could be a really good story out of this as well, because Kirsty Moore, who many of our local industry would know very well, she was involved with a Group 1 winner as an owner on Saturday with Just Fine across there in Sydney in the world of thoroughbred racing. And now she could bring up two Group 1s in the space of a week, different codes, with Big Energy going around for Jackie Greeno there at Angle Park on Friday night. So good luck to you, Kirsty, and the connections there with Big Energy. Of course, WA bred greyhound there out of Amo Baylor. So great to see. Good luck to the team there with Big Energy on a Friday night. One man that's got plenty of energy himself, although on this Thursday morning after a big Hannon's Day, it could be questionable. Let's get up to the Goldfields and find out how the Shayne train's coping with his first visit up there to Kalgoorlie for race week. Welcome to you, Shayne. How do we find you this morning?
Good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. Yes, Shorty, a little bit dusty, and I now know why. Hannon's Day is on Wednesday and Cup Day is on Saturday, because you need 2 days to recover.
Absolutely. Well, that's you're up there to have a good time, and it sounds like you've certainly done that. Did you back a winner or two yesterday? Yeah,
backed a couple of winners yesterday, Shorty. It was obviously a pretty punter-friendly card. A lot of the favourites were winning. And the great man Diggers tipped a few winners as well, which was good, Shorty. So had a really good time. Must give Sarah a shout out at Tab Touch there. Really looked after not just me but everyone in that tent, Shorty. I think everyone had a good time. There was plenty of food, plenty of drinks, and there was a lot of fun had by everyone. So a big thanks to her and her team at Tab Touch there, Shorty.
Yeah, beautifully done, Shayne. Sarah is one of our great staff members at Racing and Wagering WA. She brings incredible enthusiasm and energy, one of the most friendly and lovely ladies that work at Racing and Wagering WA. I'm glad to hear that you were well looked after there yesterday, Shayne. You put plenty into the industry, so great to see you having a day out there on what is one of the really special race days on the WA racing calendar, Hannon's Day, and of course more good times to come for everyone up there on the Goldfields on Saturday for Cup Day. Shayne, did you get along to the Calcutta? This is your first Kalgoorlie race round. Have you sampled everything that Kalgoorlie has to offer? Did you get along to the Calcutta? Of course, Macca does a wonderful job with that each and every year, and all of the different events that go on around town. There's a real buzz in Kalgoorlie when the round's on. Have you felt that?
Yeah, no, it's really good, Shorty. Haven't been to every pub yet, but we've got another day here today, so didn't get to the Kalgoorlie Cup Calcutta, but we did catch the end of the Hannons Calcutta on Tuesday night, Shorty, and we lucky enough to buy. We had Halatorium running for us yesterday, but had no joy there. But a lot of money was in there, Shorty. I think it was up around 30,000 was in the Hannons Calcutta. So I'm not sure what the Cup one is. They do that today, do they?
Normally the night before, so yeah, I'd say Friday night. The Tats Club will be going off again, Train. Yeah. So I can be corrected on that if I'm wrong. But normally, well, certainly for the 20 odd years that I was going along on the Friday night, it absolutely heaves in there. Everybody wants a ticket in the Calcutta and to be running for the big cash there at the KBRC on Saturday. Tremendous time though, and all reports are that the town is absolutely abuzz there. And congrats congratulations to SJ Miller as well there. I know plenty of punters were aboard Magnificent Andy, but gee, I tell you, the Miller name up there when the Kalgoorlie race round is on. They have had an incredible tradition and history of training winners, and that continued on. Well done to you, SJ, there yesterday. Shayne, lots of amazing greyhound racing going on around the nation. I've just touched on Friday night. What a night it's going to be. We've got the big Adelaide Cup final across there in South Australia, and while that's all happening, we have got a huge night of chasing at Wentworth Park. Of course, the night kicks off for the stayers, couple of heats of the Sydney Cup, and then we're into 8 semi-finals of the $1 million chase. It is cutthroat. Win and you're through to the final. Miss out and the dream is over for 2023. The dream is alive, though, for one of our great mates from WA, Cody Charles, with the national sprint winner Sage Tennille. She trialled really well there last week, 29.66. She's come up with box number 1. She's in wonderful form. She's settled in beautifully over there. Couldn't have worked out too much better for Cody going into Friday night, Shayne. Dog settled in beautifully, had a look at the track and trialled really well, and then come up with the perfect box draw. It's all lined up for Sage Tennille to get a really good look at them there on Friday night.
Yeah, 100%, Shorty. I think Cody and Brittany will be rubbing their hands together. Shorty, obviously, being from Sydney, to run 29.66, first look at Wentworth Park, it's no mean feat. You know, it takes dogs sometimes 4 or 5 runs to get used to that track. It's a very different track, a very unique track, and Shorty, I think she's going to be very, very hard to beat. Obviously, Jay is Jay, looks the hardest to beat, but we know how strong she is, and I think Cody's given her a really good preparation, perfect preparation, and obviously the whole of WA are going to be behind her. But I do have to mention, Shorty, the great man Joe Lanuti tipped out McKenna last week at the big odds. I see now it's into $5 favourite, Shorty, and it's come up with the red in its semi-final. It's $1.55, Shorty. Very hard to beat.
Indeed, yeah. So McKenna's the greyhound that we did mention that trial. It sort of it came out throughout the course of last week in relation to that performance. It was a 29.30 trial. If you do not mind, punters, McKenna's put together a wonderful record. She's had the 10 starts, 8 wins and a second. She trialled that very slick 29.30. The sectionals were outstanding. She's come up with box number 1 here in the first of the $1 million chase heats. And as Shayne's just alluded to, $1.55 on the fixed odds. When Joe threw that out last week, $34. It's now into $5.50. So thank you, as always, to our great mate Joe Lanuti. He does a wonderful job anytime he comes on our radio programs, and that was a great little free swing. Hopefully a few of our listeners are involved, and we'll be cheering hard. If it's not Sage Tennille, hopefully for our accounts perspective, let's hope that it is that McKenna can get the job done for our loyal listeners. Shayne, plenty of chasing locally as well to look forward to. We've got Northam tonight, Cannington Friday, Cannington on Saturday night. I actually got out trackside last night. Took my 2 boys that are on holidays out there for a few races, bit of dinner. Mum and Dad came along as well. It was great to have a night out there at Cannington. Really good feel. Plenty of people there on track having a good night, and looking forward to another busy weekend of chasing. We get to see our star sprinter in Elite Machine humming around again on Saturday night. It was some return there last week, Train. Of course, the dual Group 1 winner had been on the sidelines for a little bit, but returned last week and dropped a cheeky 29.50, if you don't mind.
If you don't mind, Shorty, 29.49, I think it was amended to 29.50. Very good return. We've seen him come back from Brisbane, and he bungled to start them a couple of times, Shorty, and that was what was getting him beat. And obviously he had that little hiccup, and Jamie sort of sorted that out, and he was first up there on last Saturday night, and he just bounced straight on the arm, give nothing else a chance, 29.50. Looks like he's back to his best, Shorty.
Big style, and he's come up with his favourite draw in the floss there on Saturday night in that free-for-all. 5 starts, 3 wins and a placing from the draw. Gets plenty of room to muster early and use that scintillating early burn that the greyhound does have if he gets across. Don't know that they'll be running him down, running around that 29.5 mark again, but that'll be one of the real highlights of the upcoming weekend. Punters, if you're looking to get involved, we've got a few races that we'll have to throw to throughout the course of Great Greys this morning. The second of them is race number 1 at Gosford. It's 3 minutes away here, punters. If you're looking to get involved, pretty tight at the top of the market, wrapped with Timmy Clark aboard. board. Our current $2.60 favourite in from 310. Reigning King's been $4.40 into $2.70. Stack of scratchings here, numbers 1, 8, 9, 12, 15 and 16. Uncut Gem 9 to 6. Highland 8 Tees 8 to 8.50 and Showtime Sassy 11 to 9.50. All other runners $20 and upwards. You've got 2.5 minutes to get your bets on for the first of the day there at Gosford. Let's throw back to the Shayne Williams. Shayne, we've got chasing this evening there at Northam. What are your thoughts? Can you find a winner for the listeners?
Yeah, look, a tricky meeting tonight, Shorty, at Northam, but we'll kick it off race 7, number 1, Georgia Flash, dog trained by James Jeffries. Its box 1 record isn't overly appealing, but I just think the dog in 2, Jubilee Keeping's got a bit of speed and likes to use a bit of the track, that she can get every chance to punch up underneath there. She's had 7 starts for 1 win and I think 3 placings off the 1 box. So we'll kick it off there, Shorty. Georgia Flash, race 7, number 1, and then we'll go over to race 12, number 3, Improvised. A dog trained by Ben McLean, 4 starts back. He ran 17.32. I think that'll be good enough to win this race, and we know the Ben McLean team's flying, especially up there at Northern, Shorty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's hope it can continue for Benny there. Of course, butcher by day, greyhound trainer by morning, noon and night. He's done a great job with his team. He's had an excellent season up at Northam, so good luck tonight, Benny, with your runners there. A couple of minutes to go till the first race of the day there at Gosford Punters. Shayne, we've got a bit of time to have a look at Cannington Friday before we throw back to Leia for a look at the first at Gosford.
Yeah, I think Cannington Friday, Shorty, didn't think I'll ever be tipping this dog, but obviously he's been a great dog. He's just getting a bit long in the tooth and obviously had a lot of injury problems. But race 6, number 1, Momentum, Shorty, he ran behind Elite Machine last week. I think he ran 29.89, getting beat. He's got a tremendous record off box 1. Obviously, we seen him run 3rd back in the Sandgroper early in the year off the 1 box. And, I think there's still a bit of wind in the old legs yet, Shorty. Age sure not weary of them. I think Momentum will get the job done on Friday night, race 6, number 1. And then we'll go over to race 10, number 7. Now, any punter's doing early form here. Richlink's going to be scratched out of this race, so brings it back to a 5-dog field. And I think West On Nugget, drawn out where it wants to be, loves to go around the outside. I think it's got a fair bit on this field, Shorty, so they'll be my 2 on Friday night, 6-1 and 10-7.
All right, 6-1, 10-7. Thank you very much, Leia. Yeah, it was an omen pick probably for the man that's in the company of the Shayne train at the moment there, Reigning King. They tell me the G train is the reigning king of the Goldfields after the performance there yesterday. Shayne, you got a big rap from Digby and Tim this morning on the Sports Daily.
He's the best ever. He's the best I've ever seen. I've told him to lose me number. No more going out with the G train. Shorty's put me to bed very, very easily yesterday.
Yeah, all that wood chopping certainly come in handy for him, that's for sure and certain. Let's get back to your thoughts. Cannington, Saturday night. You got a pair of red runners for us to watch out for.
Yeah, a pair of Cherry Bombers, Shorty. Will kick it off race 3, number 1, Clifton Cruise. Obviously, his main arch rival is going to be Couch Surfer. They went head-and-head a few weeks back, and Couch Surfer just got the better of him on the post. I just think he can pinch a bit of a bigger break this week, and we probably obviously need Couch Surfer to get held up a touch, but yeah, the Tilly man's got him flying, Couch Surfer, and he's back up to the 700. I think that's when he does his best racing. So race 3, number 1, Clifton Cruise. And then we'll go over to race 11, number 1, Carter Axel Rod Dog, trained by Jay Jacobson. He's been smashing the line over 500, Shorty, and she's obviously stepped him up to try and get him on the bunny for a bit of confidence. And again, although he wants to be sort of drawn wide, I think he's going to have enough speed to push up and hold the lead here. And it'll be interesting to see how he performs over the 600 metres, Shorty. So 3-1 and 11-1 on Saturday night.
And the best from the kennel?
Best from the kennel, Shorty. He's been a bit annoying. Haven't been able to tip the punters a winner lately. Very disappointing because I do try my hardest to find the winners for the punters, but probably just a small bet, Nangar Chief, Saturday night, race 6, number 1. There was obviously a close-up third behind Jamie's dog last week. Run home in 11.22, so he's been lucky enough to draw a few reds lately, Shorty, and he's cashed in once or twice there, so hopefully he can run a good race for the punters, and then we'll drop him back next week for the All-Stars. He seems to go good when he's 600 back to 500, so yeah, as long as he gets around safe and go in the heats next week.
All right, so other opportunities there. And saw the Chili Man there last night. Geez, he's looking well. In tip-top order was the Chili Man. I'm sure his runners will go nicely over the course of the weekend. Congrats to Darren Rowe. It was lovely to see Rowie there last night. He bookended the program with a double with Mary Samsonite early and then Junkyard Zeus later on into the card. Doubles as well for Dave Hobby and Terrence Earnshaw last night there at Cannington. And Shayne, you snuck one home there last week as well. Jamie keeping greyhound that you've taken to Northern so far this season, and she's done really well there and transferred that Northern form to Cannington last night. It was a brave effort. There were a couple of pretty strong dogs there. Chloe Ant in particular, for a member of a litter that run longer distances, was coming late, but Jamie keeping really dug in.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I was actually talking to the owner this morning. I think her last 10 starts, she's had 5 wins in 5 seconds. So obviously always good to see Shorty when they have them nasty falls. She had a fall in the Northern Oaks. And it's good to see him, push through them turns like it hasn't bothered him. But, yeah, she's a bitch that has won up to 600 metres. And like you said, it was very good when holding off the dog of Enzo's there last night, who's won over a longer trip. So, yeah, that'll be a good final next week. That'll be the Kenyatta Trophy. Lucky enough to have 2 in that final, Shorty. So box draw will be very crucial there. It'll probably come out Friday and then, yeah, see how we go from there.
All right, our fingers crossed the team can continue to go well. Of course, the greyhounds in wonderful care at the moment with the A-team looking after the kennel while you're up there having a good time on the goldfield. So I'm sure that the girls will continue to excel, and don't be surprised to see another winner or two over the next couple of days while the train's up there on the goldfields and the girls are in charge. They do a wonderful job in his absence each and every time that he does have a break. Shayne, great catching up with you this morning. Enjoy the remainder of your time up there on the goldfields. Very envious of you up there. Make the most of it, mate. Enjoy your break and look forward to our chat again next Thursday here on GREYS.
Thank you, Shorty. All the best, punters. There
we have it, the Shayne train. He's done a big job to get himself up after what's been a pretty big 24 hours for him, I'd suggest, up there in Kalgoorlie for Hannon's Handicap Day. Leia, we'll throw back to you in the studio and grab the divvies from race number 1 of the day there at Gosford. And when we return, we'll be having a chat to Jaycin Campbell.
Thank you very much, Shorty. And those numbers: race 1, Gosford, 10, 13, 14 and 3. 10, Reigning King for Tommy Berry, $2 and $1.20. 13, Wrapped at $1.30 and 14, Showtime Sassy, $2.40. Quinella, $2.90. Exacta, $4.10. Trifecta, $23.50. The first 4. 10, 13, 14 and 3. 105.60 with the scratchings of 1, 8, 9, 12, 15 and 16. Back to you, Shorty, with the Great Greys.
Thank you very much, Leia. Of course, time now to catch up with Jaycin Campbell. We'd like to send a shout out to our great mate, Harry Buchanan, as well. Of course, people that listen to this program week in, week out will be aware that Harry and his little fella, Henry, are doing it pretty tough at the moment. We send all of our love and best wishes also to Sarah across there at the moment. So much love across to you guys. We're missing you here on the program. Keep your heads high, and we're sending all of our love and support down the line for you today. Time though now to catch up with Jaycin Campbell. It's been going very nicely, and saw there was a little milestone for CG Syndications, bringing up the 100th winner for the season when they had a winner there earlier on in the week. Let's welcome in Jace. Jace, congratulations. Opportunity to raise the bat. Well done on the 100.
Yeah, thanks, Shorty. It was a long time coming, I guess. But, yeah, very delighted to have 100 winners this year.
Indeed. Well, hopefully many more to come as well, and hopefully a couple to come on the tip as well. I was just saying to Shayne, Friday night is one of the most exciting nights of chasing that I've seen for a little while. Adelaide Cup at Group 1 level across there in South Australia. It's an excellent card. And in New South Wales, 2 heats of the Sydney Cup, 8 semi-finals of the $1 Million Chase. It's a night where you just want to sit there at home, fill up your Tab Touch account and get heavily involved with some of the best greyhound racing on the planet.
Yeah, no, it'd be certainly nice if we can kick off a few winners tonight to fill the punters' accounts for Friday night. Heard you speaking with Train just then about Sage Sunil, and you mentioned, she's boxed absolutely perfectly here. You really couldn't ask for a better setup. I think with Jay, obviously following the majority of his career, in my opinion, they've sort of been training him a bit differently now. He's a lot more on the fresh side, where he's produced a lot better first and second splits, whereas in the past he was a bit more of that run-on dog, if you get what I mean. I think that will play into her hands here. I think he could probably just spear out. She can track him through and probably be too strong late in the piece, I assume.
Yeah, she really does have that wonderful run-home sectional that we saw in that national sprint final where she was able to get past some very, very strong and talented opponents. So good luck, Sage Tennille will be getting right around her there on Friday night. Prior to that, though, as you alluded to, let's see if we can build a bank for the weekend upcoming. Albion Park chasing tonight. Who do you like?
Yeah, got to kick off in race 3, playing the 1 here, Daryl Keeping. Best of the night for me. Doesn't bring a very handsome record to this race, only having the 2 wins from 16 starts. However, he's boxed perfectly in the red. Hasn't missed a drum from the red box. Outside him, who really knows who's the current second favourite. Likes to use the track on that first turn. Can produce a first split as well. So I think that dog in the stripes will provide the cover that Daryl Keeping needs, just to track up, hold the rails, hold the lead, and be too good for this lot. Other than that, it's a pretty weak race. Eyes on Meg has her first run at Albion Park coming down from Townsville. I think she'll be better suited at Albion Park than Townsville, the way she runs. However, she just doesn't have a lot of box speed. I think she wants to use the track a little bit. So I think it's a really good box short here for Daryl Keeping, expecting him to be very hard to beat.
All righty, so we'll get the night off to a flyer. Race 3, number 1, Daryl Keeping, the best bet of the night for Jaycin Campbell. 4 minutes until race number 1 at Geelong. Punters, get your bets on there. Who's the next to your plays tonight there at Albion Park, Jace?
Going to the best 8 now, race number 9. Only 6 runners here, so the best 6. Playing the 8 dog all natural here. Played him last week, was brilliant out in front, running 29.73, which was by far and away the best time of the entire meeting. Could have potentially gone a little bit quicker, just purely because the track was quite heavy there the other night, and nothing else across the whole meeting broke 30 seconds. So this dog is absolutely flying right now. His last 2 wins in this grade have been against these dogs. Does now have to do it from box 8. However, if he produces his first sectional over the last couple of weeks, he should really just spear across this lot. At the worst, I reckon it could probably be outside some Hall K's here, but he proved last week that he's much stronger down the back and towards the finish line than this dog. So I think it'll be quite hard to beat. That's race number 9, all natural.
Very nice. Race 9, number 8, all natural. And the third of your plays?
Yeah, finishing off with the Masters race, race 12, number 2, Zipping Ramona. She doesn't win out of turn, this bitch, but she hasn't won out of her last 20 starts, but I don't think she'll get a better setup than tonight. She finally draws a lower box, and the main danger in this race, first slip and very unstable. Both these runners are on speed types. I think there's a bit of speed here from the 1, the 3, and the 8. I'm expecting them to cut at each other. I think Zipping Ramona can get the back of these runners and watch her late. She's very strong, and I think she'll be very hard to hold out.
Excellent. 3 plays tonight, Albion Park. 3-1, Daryl Keeping, 9-8, all natural. Race 12, number 2, Zipping Ramona. Let's head down to the Apollo, Hobart. Couple of plays for us tonight down there.
Yeah, 2 heats of the St. Ledger and 2 heats of the, what is that called? The Laurels. So happy to play race 4, number 8 here, Power Band. He's received a lot of early sports support today. I thought he would. He's into $1.80 now. Edward Medhurst, he's a master trainer down there. His last 2 runs have been over the 340 metres since returning from a 3-week spell. It run 19.14, which is just a tick off the track record from box 1. Better suited to box 8 despite only having the 2 starts there. It does want to use the track. Kennel Mate on its inside volume up likes to cart across and has good early speed. So I expect Power Band to sit outside the Kennel Mate and then just blow them away late in the race. That's race 4, number 8, Power Band. And we'll move on quickly now to race number 9, number 1, 90 Miles Venom. He's first up in Tasmania. Shorter have trialled well. His times in Rockhampton and Albion Park aren't good overall, but he's a very strong dog. I think he's looking for a 1-turn track. He gets box 1 here, and he finds a very atrocious maiden here. Many of these dogs have had 15 to 20 starts, haven't won a race yet. I think this dog, in the care of Debbie Cannon, can go very well down in Tasmania. She's had a few successful dogs for this particular syndicate, including 90 Mile Queen, who's won 7 on the bounce, and she goes around in race 7. So I think Venom can go down there, produce a win first up, and be one to follow through the grades.
Excellent. Race 9, number 1, 90 Mile Venom. Anything from your camp worth following over the weekend, Jace?
Oh, no, nothing. Nothing at all.
Fair enough. Quiet weekend on that front. Never mind. We've got plenty of good tips to follow for tonight. Appreciate your time as always, Jace. Have a ripper weekend. Enjoy all that action tomorrow night.
Too easy, Shorty. Take care, mate.
We've got a couple of minutes. They're milling up behind the barriers there for race 2 at Gatton. We will welcome in the great man, the Hall of Famer in Neil Brown, though, to make a start on tonight's Sandown program. Welcome to you, Neil. How do we find you today?
I'm well, David. Looking forward to tonight's meeting. Not too many shorties tonight. Quite a challenging card. So we'll see what we can find and hopefully jag a couple of quaddies. Do you want me to start with the early quad, David?
Yeah, I reckon we'll probably get the early quaddie in with the numbers there before they jump at the next at Gatton. Then we'll have a pause, throw to Gatton, come back for your main quaddie.
Okay, mate. Race number 1 over the 5:15, a mixed grade here. Tough race. I've got Need You Know on top, 3-5-4-2. In race number 2, here I'm going 6, 8 and 1. I've got Hot Noise on top over the 5:15 for the grade 6 runners. In the third, got a scratching here which has thrown the numbers around. It was my on-top selection. Ice Bath Frothers out, so got rhythm to the top spot now. 6-2-7 in the third, and in the last I'm going 1, 4 and 2. Another important scratching. The 6 coming out of race number 4. Tomita is my on-top selection in the fourth and final leg of the early quad. So we'll come back with the main quad, David.
Thank you very much, Leia. And we're having a look now at the main quaddie tonight at Sandown, as Neil did allude to. Pretty challenging program. There's some open events throughout the course of the card, and the first leg of the main quaddie is certainly fitting the bill there. Brownie, it's $3 the field. Fibularis is our $3 favourite on the fixed odds with Tab Touch. The scratching of number 5, Medalia Snoopy, leaves us with a field of 7 here in the first leg.
Yeah, Fibularis I have got on top, but it is a wide open race this. I found them 2, 7, 3 and 1. Got some early pace this greyhound, nicely drawn in 2. And he was a solid second here last week, and I think he can go one better and win tonight. It was a handy run. Cosmic Sin won well over the 400 at Geelong from box number 1 last start. And then I like Flying Butcher. I'm going to throw him into calculations as well. One here on the 10th of September. Then he failed to beat one home at his next up. We'll forgive him from that. And I think the red Tingle and the Bell has got some sort of chance as well from box number 1. Has won 3 races on the track. Going to the second leg of the quaddie, race number 6, mixed 4th and 5th grade here. Pretty good quality race this. I've gone 2, 4 and 3. Pretty keen about Amron Dan. Gee, they bet around the $3 $43.60 mark yesterday afternoon. But I see he's in about $2.80, $2.90. Do like him, keen on him. Won his last 2 quite well at Meadows and Ballarat, and I think in the best of the night at Ballarat. He's won here in fine style. I think he's the one to beat. Departed, good quality greyhound, races well here, 4 from 5, has some early speed, and Piscopo Bale very rarely runs a bad race. Well on his type, narrowly beaten here last week, and I think he's got some sort of chance. So 2, 4, 3. Race number 7, third leg of the quaddie here over the 5:15 for the grade 5s. I made it 1, 4, 5. Could make a case for 3 as well. I got back to scratch from that red box on top. He's only lightly raced, had 9 starts, solid wins at the Meadows and Shepparton. And from the inside draw, I think he might be the one to beat, but it is an open race. 4, Ashton Costello, goes well here. 3 wins, was a little unlucky on Sunday. Looks for danger. Zipping Lincoln, it's got a big motor, plenty of ability, and he's a little bit hit and miss at the start, but I think he's a chance in this, and I think you can probably make a case for Meatball Molly if you want to make a scratch at the 4, but I'll take 1, 4, 5. Lastly, the quaddie, race number 8 coming home with the 3rd and 4th graders here over the 5:15. A good solid race, 2, 4, 3 for me. Like the way Zulu Blast got home last week. He did run past Baby JC in the straight. And I think from the same draw tonight, he's the one to beat. Navarino, very good greyhound, high-quality chaser, always a chance. Hasn't won for a little while, but he'll put himself in the race, and I think Kind of Jack, with solid wins in his last 2 here, presents us some sort of chance in the race too from that inside draw. So, yeah, if you can go a bit wider, maybe throw the red in, but I'm going to take 2, 4, 3. So our best bet tonight, David, race 6, number 2, Amron Dan. I like the price. I think he might be just a little bit too good for the field there. So good luck and good punting at Sandown.
Beautifully done, Neil. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Grace. Just quickly before you go, what did you make of that grand final on Saturday? It was a beauty.
It was very good to watch, David. Interesting result at the end, wasn't it? A lot of close finals, and the Pies have got home. To say I'm happy about it would be an understatement, but to the winners go the spoils, David, and I've had to turn off all media this week here in Melbourne. You can imagine what it's been like.
I can imagine, Brownie. For the Saints and Dockers fans like myself, we can look forward to a new season with renewed hope in 2024, Brownie. It's a long way away
Absolutely.
from now, though. In the meantime, all the very best to you. Enjoy a big program there tonight at Sandown. Good luck.
Good on you, David. Thanks, mate.
There we have it. Neil Brown joining us this morning here on Great Grace, the Hall of Famer. Right, it's always an absolute privilege to catch up with him here on the program. Plenty going on. Unfortunately, our man in South Australia, Sean Matheson, has been taken to a meeting. So we're going to miss him, but he has been good enough to put together his key plays. Of course, with Angle Park moving to Friday night for the Group 1 Adelaide Cup. There is chasing tonight at Murray Bridge. So Sean's given us a couple of plays there this evening at Murray Bridge. First of them's in race 5. Graded at a big price here. Number 3, Springvale Jess for Mick Giniotis. Was a winner going back only 3 starts ago in 30.85 over the 530 metres at Angle Park. And only 5 runs ago, it was a winner at Gawler. So that was a nice effort over the 400. So a greyhound that's been racing quite well. $18 the win, $3.70 the place. It's worth a little something at the big odds there tonight. Race 5, number 3, Springvale Jess. And his best bet on the card, we have to wait until late. Race 12, number 7, My Reason. Greyhound aiming up at a winning hat-trick tonight. Last couple of performances there up the straight at Murray Bridge. Most impressive over the 300 metres. Steps out to the 395 tonight, but Greyhound in form, expected to be hard to beat there in the last. So race 5, number 3 each way. Race 12, number 7, the best of the night tonight there at Murray Bridge. We then switch our focus to Friday night. It is, of course, the Group 1 Adelaide Cup, and a wonderful field assembled. As I touched on at the top of the program, Scalacci, feet up on the dashboard there last week after getting the golden ticket through to the Group 1 final. While that was all happening last Thursday night, the heats of the Adelaide Cup took place. There were some mighty performances on the way through. Transponder for Jason Thompson. He knows what sort of dog you need when the big races are on. Came from box 7 last week in its heat to win in 30 and 17. Very impressive. Big energy. Good luck to Kirsty Moore and the rest of the team there. Looking to make it 2 Group 1s in the space of a week. One from the world of thoroughbred racing last Saturday in Sydney. Switch across to South Australia on Friday night, and it's Big Energy that'll be flying the flag for the team there. Winner 11 of 22. Did its early racing here in WA, this greyhound's always had a huge motor. Headed across to Victoria, now in the care of Jackie Greeno, and the dog has been thriving over there in Victoria. Last week's performance from box 6, simply dazzling. 30.03 on the clock, if you do not mind, punters. It was a hot run. And the other of the heat winners there, or there were 2 other heat winners, Mapunga Smoky for Jeff Britton, winner in 30 and 23 from the wide draw. Really nice performance. Winner 10 of 19. And the other heat winner was the extreme outsider of the field, Adana Rico, who came from the wide draw. It's come up with the same box. The time of 30 and 72, a fair way off what we saw there from Mapunga Smoky, Big Energy and Transponder on the night. And of course, Scalacci did run a sizzling 30 flat. Going back a couple of starts ago when taking out the Derby, and then last time out was very good in winning that Speed Star Series in 30.04. Scalacci goes in at $3.10 from the awkward draw in box 5. It's going to really need to nail the start from there. Transponder from box 1 at $3.60. Big Energy on the second line with Transponder there also at $3.60. Mapunga Smoky $5. Launch code $7.50. It's $20 and upwards from there. Sean is making King, race 10, number 5, Scalacci, one of his best bets on the program in the Group 1 Adelaide Cup. It'll be a beauty, 8 minutes past 7, Friday night there at Angle Park. Make sure you get involved there, punters. Other nice bets on the program for Sean, race 5, number 4, Dash of Blue, race 11, number 7, Infinis Jewel, and race 12, number 7, She's All Cheek. His value play comes up in race 3, number 9, Max Rocker. So Sean Matheson, Friday night chasing the Group 1 Adelaide Cup. Wonderful program. Best bets for Sean in recap. Race 3, number 9 each way, Max Rocker. Race 5, number 4, Dash of Blue. Race 10, number 5, Scalacci to take out the Group 1 Adelaide Cup. Race 11, number 7, Finish Jewel. And race 12, number 7, She's All Cheek. Big thanks to Sean Matheson for his thoughts for what will be a huge night across there in South Australia for Adelaide Cup night. One other tip from Sean is on Sunday. It is race 11, number 8, Darling Sherry. That is, of course, for the program there at Gawler. Looking forward to that. Well, it's big on Friday night in South Australia, but this program that has been assembled for Wentworth Park on Friday night, well, quite simply, it's as good as you'll see anywhere, anytime. We have 2 heats of the Sydney Cup for the stayers to kick off proceedings, and then for the rest of the night, have a look at these rockets go around. Races 3 through to 10, $1 million chase semi-finals. It's cutthroat. Win and you're in with a crack at the million the next week. Miss out and you've got to wait another year. But for the 8 heat winners, they will be in for some sleepless nights in the chase of the $1 million for the $1 million chase. Let's welcome in Simon Orchard. No doubt this man is dead set, fizzing up like a can of pop that's been dropped out of the fridge. It's all go across there in New South Wales. Great to have you on the program, Simon. What a card this is.
Yeah, great build up there, Shorty. I'm a big UFC fan, my friend. I love the man named Bruce Buffer who starts with It's Time, and I cannot wait to get on track tomorrow night. We're in the studio actually to run through the hosting duties. Mick Cowley will be on track. Tim Battler, Newbold, and myself will be in the studio. Duke having a night off, but we cannot wait to bring you all the coverage from what I reckon is probably the best night of chasing we've got. I know next week is the final, the $1 million race. We've got a host of support cards as well. But as you said, 2 heats of the Sydney Cup. So the stayers go around first as a little entree, and then 8 of the best. And, mate, we've got storylines coming out of our proverbial. We've got the tradie from Taree who had to get the day off work just to qualify his dog through the regional final. Nora's boy and Sean Guthrie, they're coming down. We've got Bronnie Welsh, who started her long journey from Mildura after qualifying through Broken Hill. They've never been to the track, Shorty, with Kruger Lass. So her and her husband are in the car. I spoke to them this morning. They've got no idea how to get to Wenty Park. That's the first battle. And then she said she's going to be a stargazer once she gets there, looking at all these wonderful trainers that she's admired from afar for so long. 66 years old, just a hobby trainer with Kruger Lass. But gee whiz, it's one of the stories of the chase. And then, of course, you got the top end of town, the likes of Peter Lagagione going for 3 straight. Can you believe it, Shorty? The Penrith Panthers did it in the footy, and now Peter Lagagione's trying to do it in the $1 million chase. You got Jason Thompson with arguably the favourite, and I guess the dog that everyone wants to see go around in Post from Pat. We're yet to see him go in race conditions at Wentworth Park. And then the local favourites, I guess, in Mortified for Chris O'Brien, the one that I'm tipping to maybe take it all out, as well as the Queenslander in Magistrate. So, look, we've got stories, as I said, coming left, right and centre. It's honestly going to be one of the best nights of chasing we've seen. I cannot wait to get my teeth into it, mate. As Bruce Buff would say, it's almost time.
Yeah, so true. Look, it's the whole card, to be fair. Like, you just nailed it. So final night is always really exciting because the big race itself, there's top billing. You get to see the very best of the best going head to head. Sydney Cup final will be a cracker as well. You've got all the other features that are on the card. So I'm not downplaying next week's final night, but holy dooly, the calibre of greyhound that is going around in each of these semi-finals. They've all had to go all around New South Wales to find their way through to get an opportunity to the semi-finals. The West Aussies there as well. We're getting right around Sage to Neil. It is going to be superb. Punters there just about ready for the second here at Gosford. We'll throw back to Leah. When we return, we'll get some of the thoughts for Simon for Friday night chasing there at Wentworth Park for this stellar card.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Indeed, where it's now 8 minutes away from 11 o'clock, and we're catching up with Simon Orchard talking about this incredible program of chasing on Friday night there at Wentworth Park. Simon, it's all eyes on the big program there on Friday night. We'll get your thoughts there, and then you can take us around the grounds after that. But while we've got the blowtorch rolling, have a look at this card. There's a number of Australia's very best that are set to strut their stuff. And one thing I'm really looking forward to, we had Joe Lanuti join us on the program last week. He threw out to our listeners that might be worth having a little something on McKenna at the $34 that was available in the all-in market. Well, the greyhound at since has come out, has trialled $29.30. It's come up with box number 1, and I know there's a stack of Great Greys listeners that'll be cheering very hard for the Cherry runner in race number 3 on Friday night.
Yeah, you're spot on, Shorty. We've all probably in our time been at the mercy of the overs gods, my friend, and hopefully for punters who've got on McKenna, that isn't the case. But you're right, the trial pervs are out watching the likes of McKenna go around. Post and Pat had a spin, 29.60, Magistrate, 29.8, but McKenna, I think, was the star, and then draws the one as well. So, interestingly, out of that race, Shorty, Cashmaster has been scratched, draws the squeeze box. I'm not sure if Connections thought, well, how are we going to beat McKenna off the one? Tell you what, the run of her down at the Temora Regional Final, what was it, less than a length off She's a Pearl's track record, indicates that she's got a stack of ability. I guess my only query is, first time in a race field around Wentworth Park, a young greyhound with only, a handful of starts, I think 10 in total for 8 wins. I'm not doubting her ability at all, because I hope the Carruthers camp that she can come out, get on the arm and absolutely blow them away, because we love our rising stars in the chasing world. But, I just guess the query is going around in a race field for the first time under the lights of Wenty Park. And it's a tough field. Remember this, of course, for Vic Sultana, ran in the Dapto Megastar just a few starts ago, ran third in a Group 1 behind Umberto and Mortified. Zipping Caleb's come out last week in the city qualifiers and run a best of night time in 29.56 and is the Zoom top maiden winner. We've seen the form out of that race in the last couple of years with the likes of Zipping Orlando going on to bigger and better things. And then you've got Nango Rocket for Dennis Barnes in box 3 in the Barnes kennel going better than ever, Shorty. So, look, I'm not knocking McKenna at all. We've tipped her and we think she can get the job done from box 1. But, gee, $1.50 or $1.60, whatever she was this morning when I last looked, is a little bit too short for me, but certainly an exciting prospect.
Indeed, and I'll be cheering hard. I won't be backing it at the $1.50, but I'll certainly hope it gets into the final and wins it, because there's a couple of account balances that'll look a whole lot healthier if that can happen, Simon, which is always nice. Let's get your thoughts for the card. Who can we have a bet on there on Friday night?
Yeah, look, we'll start with just a bet in the Sydney Cup. Zipping Kansas, gee whiz, has been, I guess, an enigma's the best word, Shorty, over his racing career. I know when he burst onto the scene, there was all sorts of raps of what he was going to go on and achieve, and probably hasn't quite reached the heights that everyone hoped. But, gee whiz, last week, 29.69 was the run at Wentworth Park to win, and maybe there's just some signs that he is returning to his best. We know at his best he's going to be really hard to beat, and we don't mind him off the one box in Heat 1 of the Sydney Cup. So race 1, number 1, Zipping Kansas, I wouldn't mind having a little bet there if I was allowed. Race 6, number 1, Magistrate. It was my tip at around 50 to 1, I guess, a couple of weeks ago when me and Mark Duclos did a preview of the all-in market. I like Magistrate. I like him off box 1. Greg Stella, trainer in form. The record for this dog, it's won more than 50% of its 40 race starts, and its box 1 record, it's only missed the check on one occasion from, it hasn't missed the check, from 7 starts out of the red. We've had some key scratchings this morning as well, Shorty. The 2 Aussie Rocks and the 3 Al's Entity come out. So Sure as Oak and One Hot Bandit will come into that field by the looks of things, which makes things a little bit more interesting. But I like Magistrate, was over even money when I last checked. So race 6, number 1, you can have a play there. And then race 10, number 6, Mortified. Look, not only can she run the hands off the clock, dog really close to my heart. I saw her debut at Dapto, I reckon 18 months ago, Shorty, and I sat there with Chris O'Brien, and we've seen her emerge, going from winning a maiden at Dapto, winning a couple on the bounce, to going on to winning a regional final of the race last year in the $1 Million Chase. Of course, a Group 1 place getter in that Dapto Megastar. She missed the start in the Futurity earlier this year. She went down for the Australian Cup. She's been thereabouts in some big features, and I just love Chris O'Brien to get through to the $1 Million race again with Mortified. But I think she's obviously a really quick dog, 29.37 PB at Wenty. Box 6, I guess is a little bit challenging. She's got some speed outside her in Idolise. Frisky Felon ran really well in the Blacktop final, and Zipping Novak was extraordinary in the Gosford regional final as well. So it's not going to be easy, but I like race 1, number 1, Zipping Kansas, 6-1 Magistrate, and 10-6 Mortified as the best bets on the program tomorrow night at Wentworth Park.
Magnificent, and we can see Simon with all of his magnificent work with the team there at thedogs.com.au. They'll have you covered right throughout the course of the night. Key interviews, tips, make sure you tune in throughout the course of the night, thedogs.com.au, for some splendid coverage. Anything else for the punters around the ground, Simon?
Yeah, get some today. 8-5 Sandblaster at Casino. That's Casino 8-5 Sandblaster. Gunnedah race 2, number 1. 2 Coast, and then tonight at Dapto, a real track specialist in leg speed. That's race 9, number 8 Leg Speed, has absolutely flown around the Dapto circuit. Returns to the place tonight. I think you can win as well, mate.
Love it. That's a few there for the punters to get involved with. Casino, Gunnedah and Dapto later on there tonight. Simon, appreciate your time as always. Yourself and all the team over there, lap it up. Make the most of it. You're the envy of us across here in WA. We'll all be getting right behind Sage to Neil off box number 1, hoping that the Sandgroper can sneak through to that rich final next week. Appreciate your time as always, Simon. Have the best of Friday nights out there at headquarters.
Appreciate it, mate. Hooroo.
There we have it, Simon Orchard joining us here on A Great Greys. Only a minute to go till they jump here for the next of the day at Geelong Punters. Just quickly for tonight there at Northern, my key plays, race 3, number 1, Abbey Keeping, Loves the Red, Danger 6 on the Bogan, 1 and 6 race 3. Race 5 again, number 1, Fortified Mac, Danger drawn in 7, Kanji Giant will be rattling home at it late. In race number 8 on the program, number 3, Navy Blue Buzz will be very hard to beat, as will race 10, number 1, Too Long Tiger, and in race 11, 2 and 9, Look a Great, Quinella, Raven Classified and Honey Keeping. They'll all be up on the social media platforms early this afternoon. Leah, a huge thanks to yourself and to everybody tuned in. Thanks for your company. Wishing you all many winners for the remainder of this Thursday.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Shorty, for your time today on Great Greys. And I hope the punters find plenty of winners ahead of a big card of greyhound racing this coming week.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.